Hi, hello. Um, Welcome to another episode um in talking to all of us. And I want to talk about. I want to start with image. And so there is a lot of hype and a lot of talk about how a person should look, how they shouldn't look, and all of that. And what I would say is this: don't make any decision about your looks based on you what you feel, in terms of maybe you there is a part of yourself you don't like and you think that you should change it, sort of, like maybe you don't like how your face looks like, you don't like how your hair looks like, and then you just go and color it purple or something like that. Like, before you start making changing any part of your body, you need to first of all love what you do have first. That is very important, because if you don't love what you have first, like what you have originally, if you don't like your default setting, right, and you will not be able to appreciate it. And if you don't appreciate it, you keep changing and keep changing until you don't even remember what your default setting looks like. Just know that an original designer made you the way you are. And it's not for you to change it, even if you do have the choice. But you can also choose to love what you do have, how it is, and just work with that. You understand? If you're a girl and you feel like your bust is too small, or you're not menstruating early enough, like maybe your peers are already menstruating and you're not, and you feel less than a girl because of that. Look, let me tell you something. From experience, I can tell you that there is nothing to miss in that. Believe me, it's not that fun. In fact, it's not fun. It's just that you don't have many people tell you the truth about these things, especially your peers. So they are like, if they are going to be miserable about this menstrual thing, um, at least they are menstruating. They see it as an advantage, a sick advantage at some point, because when you begin to make someone feel bad about not menstruating, that is, I mean, I don't understand. Like, it's not as if you get to vote, or your rights as a girl child, or your rights as a child is diminished because you are not menstruating. And if someone wants to give you grief about whether you are flat or whether you are fat, if it's not being flat, it's about being fat. If it's not being fat, it's about something else. You know, I went through my own fair share of name calling when I was in school. You know, you have some people, because I lived in a hostel, right? So you had people like make jest of how my busts looked like without a bra. So um, it was it made me feel bad, but I took it in stride, because I'm like, there are worst issues. First, my grades, right? Secondly, there was a lot going on. So I just sort of distracted myself into focusing on things that matter. And I was somebody that read a lot. So sometimes I just, pick a novel and just get lost in it. And as time goes on, and as time, went on, I began to like um work on accepting me for me, and knowing that I'm not body parts. I'm not I'm not my nose. It is part of me, but that is not who I am. I'm not my mouth. I'm not my eyes. I'm not the shape of my head, or whatever it is someone wants to point at as not perfect or good looking enough. It's funny, that people always shout about nobody is perfect, but I think they often say that because they want to protect their own bad habits. But the same people who talk about no one is perfect will be the same people who would still expect other people to look perfect. Perfect as in based on their own interpretation of perfection. So you have to learn to shut out any word that is that makes you feel bad. And sometimes you need to get sassy as well. You understand what I'm saying? You don't need to like start mentioning or mentioning any part of their body that you think has issues or something. No. But you can probably just ignore them for one and keep working on your mind, because at the end of the day, the person that needs to accept you is you. And so if you do not accept yourself, you would be taken advantage of, and it would constitute a limitation to a lot of things. Like you would sabotage things that you ought to have, that is yours, that is just for the taking. But because you have believed all the words that had been said about you, you just don't go for it. You understand? You have a situation where I will give you an example. So here you are, you think you're not good looking enough, you think you're not cute enough, especially when you are not one of the popular kids in school, right? And the thing about popular kids is that when you get attention, even if it's bad attention, as in bullying, name calling, body shaming and stuff like that, it's because you have something they don't have. And so they are trying to tell you that whatever it is you have is not enough. Whereas they feel that whatever it is they have is not enough. And so they are projecting that onto you. When a person feels like I am more than enough, they do not, they see other people also as more than enough. So what I mean is this: if a person is always talking about what you don't have and exaggerating it and making it an issue, is because you have something that they are insecure about, and they want you to feel insecure as well. So they now begin to talk about what you don't have and then amplify it. And the truth is, the way we are made to be interdependent. We are made to depend on one another for one thing or the other. And that's why everybody is not science oriented, and not everybody is arts oriented, not everybody is into economics, not everybody is into, we are all into different things. There's so many subjects, so many courses to pick from, right? That you specialize in because you're good at it. So whatever it is you're good at is needed out there. And whatever else the other person beside you is good at, it might not be yours, but they're good at something, and what they're good at, you also need it. So it's not meant to be a basis for anybody to feel less or inadequate. It's just a way to say, a way to make keep everybody humble, right? Unfortunately, some people use that to humiliate other people rather than accept that, what, I'm not A plus all round, but the A plus that I have is what somebody else also needs. Their own A plus is also what I need. So it's like how engines work. You understand? Engines, especially the circles that go round into each other, that they have holes around them. You understand? I don't know how to put it. Like, it's not a total ring. It's not a smooth ring, right? But it has edges, rough edges. And those rough edges is what another rough edged circle will fit into, and then there will be this fan belts that goes around both of them as they are rolling into each other. They are rolling into each other. Each of them are in their place. One is on one side, the other is on the other side, and they are rolling, into each other. They are edging into each other. They are fitting into each other as the fan belt is going around both of them. It's more or less like how we ought to be. If both of them are smooth and round and perfect circle and all of that, the engine will not work. There is a place for smoothness and there is a place for roughness. And so you have to see yourself as whatever it is that you are being told is not enough. It is actually an edge to make something else work. You are the missing part that needs to key into something. So if you have smooth edges, you might not fit into that thing perfectly. We all have our place in the way the world works. And so you have to learn to embrace what you don't have or what you think you don't have, and then learn about it, study about it. You understand? And don't feel bad about it. Think of yourself as, okay, so I may not be 100% in everything, but I have a place in the way the world is going to work well, in the way the world is going to work better. So you have to know who you are. That is very important. You have to know who you are. Don't let anybody else define you. Not any community, not feminists, not LGBT, not anybody. Define who you are for you. And you have to understand that feelings are temporal at most. You cannot make a permanent decision or even a temporary decision on how you feel. You have to think about some things long term before you do them. Do your research. Don't just jump into something. Like, do your research, because let me tell you something. The people who are telling you that you're not good enough, that this is who you are, they're telling you who you are, and they're telling you that you need to change some things about yourself. They will not tell you the side effect of these things. Just like people who would give you grief because you are not shapely enough, they won't tell you the side effect of sculpting your figure surgically. They wouldn't tell you the side effect of any surgical alteration you do to your body. And the most horrible part of it is that even the surgeons will not tell you everything. They will not tell you the full truth. Same thing with abortion. Same thing with you can have sex anytime you feel like it. All of those things, those are really permanent decisions that you should hold off on, whether you are a girl or a boy. And if you have female genitalia, don't let anyone tell you that you're a boy. If you have male genitalia, don't let anyone tell you that you're a girl. Because, they didn't create you, right? Not even your parents created you. So if they didn't create you, then you need to look deep within yourself. And wait it out. At least wait until you're 18. Of course, they will tell you, well, if you wait that long, it will be hard to change. What that means is if you cannot wait till you are 18, then that means it is irreversible. Whatever it is you want to do that cannot wait till when you're 18, then it has long lasting effect. So hold off on surgeries, hold off on hormone pills, hold off on sex. There is more to life than how you look and sexual orientation. There is more to life. In fact, life does not revolve around those two. What do you have here? Do you understand? What ideas do you have about, like, look at the world today, look at what is lacking in it, and see how you can change it, instead of focusing on what people are telling you about your body and about your sexuality. Like, what are you even thinking about sex before you're 18? Like, anybody who is telling you about sex before you're 18 and telling you how you should feel about that, or telling you that asking you questions that, do you like girls or do you like boys or whatever, please, that is not a conversation for you. The conversation for you should be, how do I change the world positively? What part? Because there's so many things you can do to make the world a better place. So what can I do? You changing your sex, or you having sex, is not going to change the world. So know one thing. If you don't know anything at all, know one thing. You're here to fix a problem. There are so many problems. There's so many things wrong with the world. And you're here to fix at least one of it. You need to look deep within yourself to find out where you fit in as a solution provider to the world's problems. And you can, it's usually hidden as clues and codes in what you enjoy doing. So if you enjoy building things, if you enjoy constructing things, if you like to draw, if you like to paint, if you like to do calculations, whatever it is you like to do, you like to dance, you're attracted to sports, whatever it is that you are attracted to. And that's why when you're in school, when you're in primary school, whatever grades you are, your subjects are many. It's as you grow older, the subjects become less and less and less, but there are many because you're exposed to so many things, so many subjects that provide solutions to world problems. And whichever it is that interests you the most, read more on it, ask questions about them. That should be your focus, really. That should be your focus. Pursue your interests, in terms of sports, in terms of arts, because there is a little bit of arts, there's a little bit of commerce, there's a little bit of science in everybody. It's just that some have it more or less than others. You understand? Whatever it is, even if you're not good at it, but as long as you enjoy it, that's all that matters. Focus on those things. Focus on those things and listen to your conscience as well. Your conscience will lead you to places that other people would like to pull you away from. And your conscience is within you. That thing inside of you that tells you, it's a very quiet voice. It's not very pushy. So it's always like, why don't you try this? Or don't do this. Like you want to do something. If you find yourself always arguing about, there is nothing wrong in what I want to do, that is your conscience. Like you will argue back inside of you, like there is nothing wrong with this, it's not unlawful. Or you do something and you think it's your right, but you feel awful. Maybe you said something nasty to somebody and you now feel bad about it. That is your conscience. Of course you might argue back like, well, she started it, he started it, he said this to me. Perhaps. But the truth is, if you respond to someone as in the same way, in the negative way that they have treated you, you are grooming yourself to be just like them. It is hard to always do the right thing. However, doing the right thing does not mean you become doormats. So what I would advise you to do is read on psychology. There's some things I'll ask you to read up on. Look for something on quantum physics. Yeah, I think that's something everybody should know about. Read up on organic health, the history of organic health, the history of organic lifestyle. Read up on history as well. Those are three major subjects I think that, generally speaking, you need to know, right? Read up on quantum physics. Read up on what is it called now? History. Yeah, read up on history, and just to have a general idea of how the world works. And listen to your conscience. If your conscience, you'll be surprised at the wonderful places your conscience will lead you to. Sometimes it will lead you to do things that may not give you instant results, but you will see that you grow from there. You see that you become stronger from that. All right. So I would stop here for now. If you have any questions to ask me about anything, maybe you don't feel comfortable asking your parents about them because maybe you think they might judge you or something like that, feel free to ask me and we can talk about it. Okay. If you disagree with what I've said for whatever reason, let me know as well. Okay. So I'm putting these on. I mean, anybody can watch this, whether you're a kid or an adult. So, but I'm going to put it on kids setting because I want to let's just say I'm talking to my younger self. Anyone who is I'm talking to myself, people of my age, 15 years ago, people of my age 20 years ago, people of my age 25 years ago. I know I am not a dinosaur, okay? But I've seen things, I've heard things, and I've experienced things, and it's hard to say listen to your parents right now because there are some parents that are just sold out to the culture. They haven't grown themselves. So I would just say listen to your conscience. You can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with that. There are some things that would look good, that is not bad. If in fact your parents might even tell you it's not bad, but you feel like there's something wrong with it. You don't know what that thing is, but you just feel that there's something wrong with it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. All right. Guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. God has not given you the spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. Take care of yourself and those that are weaker than you, and gain strength. Gain mental strength, gain emotional strength, and gain physical strength as well. Peace.